Damn on my DJ Khaled shit. We the best. Welcome back to the MYT podcast.
Welcome. We got our panties out. It's hot.
It is hot. You will see me with shorts. I'm not a shorts guy, man.
Summer has landed.
I'm not a shorts guy. I'm wearing shorts and t-shirt and I'm wearing a beanie. Gotta switch. Gotta keep you all guessing. You know
the drip is
the drips.
immaculate.
You know it's crazy. You know I embody a skater boy.
Yeah,
I do.
he's dedicated to the cause.
I'll always keep it going. I don't skate.
Respectable. You ever thought about skating, learning how to skate?
I used to have a skateboard when I was younger. I used to have a skateboard, and I got on the skateboard.
Yeah.
I fell off the skateboard, and I never skated again.
Damn.
Yeah,
It was deterred from a little boo boo.
No. It wasn't Lil Boo Boo, bro. I fucking
killed your dreams.
I crashed out, bro. Like,
crashed
it was a full on crash. Like I got hurt. I got like scraped my knee.
No.
As this fucking guy. I'm never gonna say anything again. Might as well just start talking, all right?
No. Yeah. Sorry. Carry on. How did it come about? How did your injury happen?
Okay, so I'll start from the beginning. Like, I really wanted to skateboard, and my parents, bless them, they were really, whatever hobby I really wanted to do,
They were supportive of it. Oh.
Supportive is a bit of an overstatement.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they bought me a skateboard when I was younger. I was fucking stoked, man.
Yeah.
To use skater terminology, you know.
Hang 10.
I
I think that's surf.
hang 10. That's crazy.
That's a surf term.
Hang
My
10.
bad. Same thing. Board is life.
Wait, what is it?
You know.
Wicked backflip, bro. Wicked kickflip.
Oh my God, that was a crazy grind.
They be saying that.
That
to
is
each
a
other.
move though. That is a move to grind on the.
To grind.
Yeah, to hit the
Man,
grind.
I want to grind on.
Yeah. Oh my God, he on X game.
Yeah. So I go skateboard.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to use it. I'd seen videos and it looked so easy. As a kid,
It did.
You know, as a kid, I would watch things and I think looks so easy. I can do it too.
It always does.
And I'd never understood the concept of practice. It never really drilled into my mind as a kid.
Yeah, you were like,
So-
I'm just.
Yeah,
the
so I was
prodigal
like,
son.
no, I didn't think practice existed.
Oh, you were just like people just pick shit up.
People just pick shit up. That's
Okay.
what I believed, you know? And
That's fair.
For real, I wasn't shown otherwise. I was told otherwise. I was never shown it. I was never shown that with practice you get better as a child, so that never stuck with me.
Yeah.
So I got on the skateboard and I pushed off, and I slowly realized that I don't know how the fuck to use a skateboard. And I was riding, right? It was do you remember our old apartment complex?
Yeah.
So I was riding around the parking lot area of that complex, and I couldn't stop the skateboard. So I was like, yo, woo, woo, woo. I remember the noise I was making.
You had both feet on the
Yeah,
thing.
both feet on it. And I was like, how do I stop this shit? And then I just jumped off. But like, I don't know. I think the momentum with which I was jumping off kind of made the skateboard like
Yeah.
swerve as well. And then that made me slip and fall. And I scraped my knee hard. And the
Classic.
fear of falling over that hard kind of got me like, I'm going to try and do this again. So I just never did it again.
And you were doing this like unsupervised, just on your own, randomly fucking around.
I mean, my mom was there, but like, you know how Asian parents are. You fall down, they're like,
That's
hey,
true.
get up, kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're fine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it wasn't that big of a deal. And to be honest, I wasn't that hurt. If I was hurt, obviously my mom would help me. But like,
Yeah.
I wasn't that hurt. I just got up and I was like, you know what? Fuck this
Fuck
shit.
it's the board's
And I
fault.
retired the board. I retired the board and it went to someone else. And sometimes, I'd look at that board and sometimes I'd get back on it. And then I'd give right up. And it would be the same series of events that happened. I'd be like, you know
Yeah.
what? Let's try this board. Get on it. Wouldn't be able to skate. Give up.
Fair enough.
I as a kid, I never understood or was shown the concept of practicing ever. So it never stuck. And it just never stuck with me. Yeah.
For
Never
me,
stuck with me.
I took it a step further. So my parents did get me a skateboard.
Yeah.
I can't remember why. Again, I think they just got it for whatever reason. And I was like, oh, I've seen YouTube videos of this shit. I've seen kids do it around.
Yeah,
and this is the
yeah.
time when I was in India.
Yeah.
I was like, how hard can it really be?
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of swing your feet and you just get on the board and it will drive itself. So I tried doing it, and I would like slip and I wouldn't hurt myself, but I would fall. And eventually, I kind of got the hang of it. Little did I know I was not skateboarding. It's kind of, you know, like when you're in a shopping mall and you're on a trolley, and
Yeah.
you kind of like scoot, and you get on the trolley and it kind of just rides
Isn't
a
that
bit.
skateboarding?
It
though?
is, but I was not like, it wasn't proper. I would like go from here to there,
Oh.
and I'll be like, hey,
oh my
we skating,
God,
bro, we skating. So then I was like, I'm ready for the next step, which is tricks. And I was like, well, what's the easiest trick to do?
Your head already.
And I was like, the kickflip. The kickflip is the easiest thing to do. So I stood on the board and I would just jump up, because that's how you kind of do it,
that's
right?
how you do it. Yeah, you got to use like.
But I just jump and just land on the skateboard. And I do it lightly because I was like, well, if I do it too much, the skateboard's just gonna go under my feet.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, one time I kind of got like a sign that I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the board lifted up with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm close.
Yeah.
I'm close now. So then I fully committed to the jump, and my feet just slipped like this, and I landed on my on my back.
Did you have? Oh,
I didn't land on my head.
That's good. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't land on my head, thankfully. I landed on my back,
Yeah.
and I was out of commission for like a week. I was just hurting, but I was like, fuck, maybe I'm not Tony Hawk, you know?
I mean,
And that's
clearly
the
not.
reason I put it down.
Fair enough.
I was like, I'm just
You
not
went
a prodigy.
further than me. For real.
Yeah, I literally did go further than you.
Yeah, bro. Oh, you know, I went pretty far though.
Okay.
I went pretty far. You know,
Like,
from the start of the parking lot to the end.
that's okay. That's a
was
reasonable
respect-
distance.
Respectable distance. You know.
Given no training,
Yeah.
You know.
No training. I got there.
no
you know?
practice.
And now it feels like picking things up nowadays is like, you wonder, you don't have the ability for things to stick in your mind like you did as a child. You know?
I don't know. I think you probably have to commit just as much, but now you think you're grown, so you don't have to commit as much.
I think it's more that I feel like things just don't stick, because when you're a child, you're developing, right?
Yeah.
And they say like, if you learn things as
True.
a kid, they'll
Yeah,
stick
yeah.
with you a lot better because
Yeah.
you're developing.
Yeah.
You know. Now you're developed, and it just feels like, I'm already developed. Will I ever be as good as when I was a kid? You know, like
That's true.
that's what stops me from like reigniting these things, because I'm like, oh, will I be? I didn't start when I was a kid, so I'm never gonna be that good. And
Yeah.
in my eyes, I want to be a prodigy at it. I want to be. And it's like, maybe if I was a kid and I did it, maybe I could have been.
yeah,
So-
yeah.
It's just it put too high expectations on
I think it's
myself.
also like when people start doing shit as kids, they have from childhood until adulthood to like
Yeah,
get good at it, which
yeah.
is a fuck ton of time.
It's a lot of time,
and
man.
I think
It's a
that's
lot
the
of
part
time.
people don't really like think about. It's kind of like, oh, they picked it up as a kid. That's when their brain was still developing, so they
Yeah.
just got better.
It probably did help a lot.
I mean, there's-
but there
it's
was a lot
definitely
of
a
time
factor,
involved
but
in it as well.
That's
yeah.
kind of the reason why I'm scared of picking up instruments. Like that's the main reason, because my mom still says like, oh, you love piano as a sound. You should just learn it.
Bro, same.
And
yeah.
I'm like, bro, people spend 10 years
Mm-hmm.
from when they're 10 until they're 20 to like get good enough to just play in public.
yeah.
You're telling me to sit down and learn like that now?
Yeah.
And I'm
nah,
gonna
it's
be
for
that
real.
good at 36?
No,
Fuck
for
that.
real. For
I'm
real.
not
But-
putting in the time.
No, for real. Like I completely agree with you. It's
Yeah.
the same thing with me and instrument. Like I learned instruments for a long time, but I have didn't touch them for a long time after that.
Yeah.
So I've lost even the muscle memory that was there. You know, like I can play
Yeah.
basic stuff now, but like the complicated things that I learned, I've lost the muscle memory for it. And I'm so afraid to pick those things up again, because I'm like, what? People spend so long learning, and I look at like these guitarists play the way that they play guitars so beautifully. I'm like, am I ever gonna be that
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
You know? And I guess you gotta accept, if you want to pick up the hobby, no, you're not.
The people
So-
that discourage me the most are one, the really young people,
oh yeah,
and that they
The
can
fucking-
play like
yeah.
Crazy. They're like
But
riffing and playing with their
They're-
fucking like they're playing with a clip
They're
or some
different.
shit, you know?
They're different though.
They are. But
They're
I see
different.
that and I'm like, either they're just straight up prodigies, in which case I can never beat them and that's fine, or they just got good by practicing. And I'm like, is that even achievable for me now? I think about it and I'm like, well, no, not really, because I have to put a fuck ton of time into it.
Yeah.
And it's
we
like,
don't have time.
I want to get good at so many different things that
Yeah.
I'm just like, never mind.
Yeah.
I won't
No,
put
for
time
real.
into this.
Like,
it's fine.
in my head, it's like, if I'm not as good as someone I'm looking up to, like,
Yeah.
if I'm not as good as Tyler the Creator, oh, fuck this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And that is a very toxic relationship to have with your own hobbies.
Yeah.
Don't have that relationship
I think
with
it's
your
a
hobbies.
common one, though. I think
know?
it's fairly common.
You think so?
I think a lot of people, especially once they reach adulthood and they don't have something that they were learning since childhood,
Yeah, yeah.
they kind of fall back into this thing of like, oh, it's too late for me. And they just don't pick anything up. But the thing is, like, who do you want to get that good for? Even if it's for yourself, it's like,
For
what
the
do you really
thousands
prove?
of fans that will come to see me at the O2.
Oh, shit.
You know?
If we can get that good, hey, man, I don't know. There are people that have. There was
Yeah.
that one fucking country singer that only got big at what, like 35?
That's the thing.
Or something?
It's not about when you're getting big. It's the fact that at least I got the skill there so that I can show it.
But that's
when
what
I
I'm
get
saying.
big.
Like, he
you
was
know?
probably perfecting that skill up until 35. Like, even though he
Yeah, but
wasn't
then he
blowing up, like, he
but
was getting
like,
better.
Did he
over
start?
time.
Did he start it at like 15 or whatever?
I don't know. I
'Cause
think
if
he
he did,
started
then-
pretty late.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
he got into trying to make music at like in his late 20s or some shit.
Oh fuck! Maybe I can do it
So
too,
there
motherfucker.
are stories out there where people
Yeah.
can do it, but it's like, you know what? Who am I trying to prove?
Yeah.
I'm my biggest critic, and as my biggest critic, I'm like, fuck you, you're never good enough.
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay,
same for real. Yeah.
well, my
Yeah.
own opinion is the one that matters, and I myself
Oh,
don't believe in
it's-
myself. So
I feel like other people's opinions do matter to me, and reassurance goes a long way for me. But like,
yeah,
it still won't make me do the thing. I have to have this conviction to do it, which I feel like I just don't have with a lot of my hobbies.
yeah.
So yeah.
For me, I know I don't give a shit about other people because I've done things before and I've received compliments, but it's like,
Yeah.
I myself don't think this is good, so it won't be good. Kind of
Yeah.
thing, you know?
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, sometimes I cook something and I like send it to my parents and they'd be like, and they're honest. My dad at least is honest. My mom would just be nice and she'd be like, oh, you could improve this, but it's good. But my dad would just not say anything if it's not good.
It's crazy.
But this time around, I send them something, and my dad like messaged me in our family group chat almost right away. And
It
he
was
like,
ass, bro.
he was like, "Oh, restaurant quality taste." And my dad has this thing of like, he really wants to open a restaurant once he retires.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he's like, I just read the first half of the message when I first saw the notification, and it was like, "You're hired for my restaurant," and I was like, "What is he talking about?" Yeah, I'm like, and then I read his full
dope.
message, and he was like, "Oh, the food was really good," and I was like, "I appreciate it," and he was like, "But not for another 7 years," and I was like, "Yeah, I'll perfect my skill by then. Don't worry,
Bro.
I'll be head chef."
But that must have made you feel some type of way. Like, oh, it
No,
made
I
you feel
felt
more
good for sure, but it's like I knew that it wasn't my finest work.
Okay, what
And
if
I'd already given them warning beforehand. I was like, it's not that good.
what if like 100 people tasted your shit and they were like, yo, this is the best thing I've ever had.
Okay, 100 people validation.
There we go. See?
Is starting to amount. Yeah.
But that's the thing, 100, but
But
dude,
the thing is, like, I don't care about their opinion.
Yeah.
If I get it, it will make me feel good. But it's like when I put something out, I'm not holding my breath for them to say something nice.
yeah, but like if they were to say something nice, it would change your opinion on what you made.
Yes, but if I truly believed in my dish and 100 people said, "No, this is ass," I wouldn't give a shit about their opinion.
That's true.
I'd be like, "Well, I know it's good, so it doesn't fucking matter
What
you
if
think."
1,000 people said it's ass?
I'm like, y'all are haters. It's fine.
What if like some of the best chefs in the world said this
I'm
shit
like,
is fucking
You don't know
booty
what
cheeks.
your palate is saying. You secretly like it. You're just hating because I'm
What if
brown. I just gaslight.
What if scientists came
They were like,
and
"This
they did like a study on your food,
Yeah.
and they're like, yo, scientifically this shit is actually bad. Like This
Okay.
shit has been researched, and we've concluded that it correlates with things that taste bad.
I would have to be so fucking delusional to like genuinely think what I made is that good. I don't
No,
think I would be.
but we're going off of like
Fine.
just the fact that if you believe
in
it
a
tastes
hypothetical
good, you know?
world where I still truly believe in
Yeah,
my dish,
yeah, you believe in your dish. But
I
a
think I would
scientist-
still think they're ops.
a
I'd just be like,
scientist comes and
I'd
tells
be like,
you, bro.
what the fuck do you really know about food? Food is subjective at the end of the day. You know? Because the thing is with me,
fair,
like,
fair.
science can technically they can be like, this is the tastiest combination of things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But that's not really how food works at the end of the day. Like, food is science,
Yeah.
to some extent, especially when you get
Well,
to like
yeah, yeah,
5-star restaurant level.
Yeah.
They're basically doing gastronomy is food science.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they still take into account things like people's emotions, people's other external factors that can't be dictated by science.
But if there was like, I'm sure there's some
And
type
I'm like,
of
oh,
like,
maybe his wife just divorced him and he's just upset today.
But-
It's like,
the scientist.
yeah, the scientist. Oh, he's
But
just
like-
in a crappy
but like,
mood.
But
'cause
like,
of-
what? If there was actually a scientific way to measure the how
Okay.
bad food tastes, it's independent from human opinion.
Okay,
If
basically,
they based it on that and they said your shit was bad,
if there was a god and that god came and was tasted that and was like, yo, in the entire existence of existence, this is the worst fucking thing ever, then I'd be like, okay, I'll take the L. My bad, G. I'll
God,
give
bro.
me notes. Give me notes on improving shit.
Is it science in itself is kind of like the word of God because it is the closest thing to absolute
Well, it depends
truth that we have.
depends on your
We're getting too philosophical.
depends on
already.
your way of life.
Yes, it does.
yeah.
This ain't what the MYT podcast
It's
is
not.
about.
It's not. So
Well,
basically, to summarize, God would have to tell me that I'm wrong for me to be like, okay, I'm wrong.
That's a motherfucker who believes in his food.
I believe in my
So,
shit. I
yeah.
believe in my shit.
Yeah,
But it's hard for me to get to that point. So
I see.
I'm already like very critical. But yeah, speaking of music, we kind of segued into gastronomy. But speaking of music,
You mentioned gastronomy one time.
that's
bro,
true.
bro said segue.
A segue. Yeah, I recently went to a K-pop concert.
yes, he did. Yeah.
Yes. I
recently
outsing myself as a K-pop listener.
Yes. I recently went to a concert too, but nobody cares about that.
Nobody gives a fuck about your concert.
There's more interesting
Who-
things
who
that went
was
on
it?
in the Q.
Who was it?
Q. Y'all guys heard of Q? It was a great time. Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's go to the more interesting stuff.
Yeah, let's go to the koreaboo concert. Right off the bat. Okay, this for disclaimer, this is my first K-pop concert. I've never been to one before, but I do listen to Korean music in general quite a lot, and I have been since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So, a big thing for me. I was super excited. I was going there to see two groups, Red Velvet and aespa. Those are the only two groups I gave a shit about. Everyone else can go suck a dick. So I was already mentally prepared to like listen to them and
Yeah.
dip.
Yeah.
So so zero expectations going in for them. I go, this is at the O2. I come out of the station, North Greenwich Station, and I see like a group of people from the escalator, mind you. You know how the escalator goes from the underground to the top. I see like people lining up, and I was like, oh, maybe someone's selling merch or some shit. So I start walking. There are people with like the fan signs and posters, and they're selling all of that sort of shit. And these are all like pretty young kids.
Yeah.
They're like either 16 and with their parents, or they're like 18, 19. Hardly anyone above the age of like 28. Super young demo. And I see this group and I'm like, oh, okay.
This 26-year-old motherfucker.
I'm 26,
pulled up.
yeah. I felt
He
out
was-
of place.
He was one of the oldest guys there.
Probably. Actually, no. I did see some other grown ass people. So
Just remember,
I did see some
he
other
was
grown
one
ass
of the
people.
few
And they were
grown-ass
not parents,
adults.
and they were not parents. So I felt better. I felt a bit better.
I'll let you all make your own conclusions.
Anyway, so I see that group of people. I'm like, oh, maybe they're just in line for something.
Yeah.
And I walk past, and I'm like, well, there's no break in this line. And I keep walking and
Yeah.
I keep walking, and it's literally just a line to get into the O2. And this one line, mind you, splits into 4 other lines.
Oh my
So,
god. I've
if-
never ever heard of the O2 being like that.
Never.
We even when we went to Tyler, we just walked in.
Yeah,
we just walked
literally,
in.
we
Yeah.
walked in.
There was
but
no line to get in.
it literally forked from the station. So it's literally one line from the station, and then from the station exit, it becomes 4 different lines, all curving around all the way to the O2 entrance, like inside the venue, inside the O2. That's how long this line was. And that wasn't even everyone, because outside of those lines, there were K-pop fans just sitting around, like under trees, walking around,
Just so
getting
they-
drinks.
Just so they could hear the music from the.
No. This is how eager they were to get into the venue. The doors opened at 4:30 because it's a quite a long event. People were already lined up at 4.
Yeah, I mean that's not that surprising.
No, but why?
I lined up a 4 for the venue to open.
Yes, but why would you do that?
For the doors, as in like for like to actually get in the concert.
Yeah, to get into the concert.
Yeah, that's pretty common for.
But I've
concerts.
never seen a line like that.
Oh,
4
a
lines.
A line that long? No, that's crazy.
Yeah, from the
Half an
start
hour
of the
before-
station.
Half an hour before the
Like you would think people would
yeah.
be loitering around, but these guys were in line. And mind you, this is scorching heat.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
29 degrees, and these people are just like they're enlisted in the military.
For big artists.
Yeah.
This is pretty. It's more common.
Yeah.
But like, this is on an unprecedented level.
Yes.
If there were 4 lines that were spreading to the station at 4.
Yes, at 4.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
At 4 at the station, that means the motherfuckers would have gotten here much earlier.
Yes, exactly.
Much
the line
earlier.
was already pushed back to the station.
Much earlier, man. That
So
means they
I'm-
would have been lining up there since like 2 or 3.
Yep.
Or maybe
or maybe
one.
even earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe even earlier.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even the full extent of everyone there. There were people just walking around. So
Yeah.
anyway, I was like, yeah, fuck that shit. I'm not lining up. So I just went into the O2.
Yeah.
I just started walking around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now it's 5 p.m. or close to 5:30. I'm like, surely the line's gone. Come back, it's still there. And I'm like, let's see whether the line is shortened.
Yeah.
I walk outside, I start keep walking. I'm at the station. The line starts from the inside of the station.
Bro, the line got longer.
The line got longer, not
My
shorter.
guy.
Even though they opened the doors.
You took an L there. You should have.
No, I was like, fuck that. I don't really care. It's fine.
You had a seat, right?
I had a seat.
Oh, okay,
I had a
that's
seat,
chill.
so
Yeah,
I wasn't too
yeah.
worried about anything. And I knew like there wasn't a super official opening act.
Yeah.
It was kind of like they were just doing shit, like
Yeah.
playing videos on the big screen.
Yeah.
So nobody was actually performing. So I was like, whatever. So I went back into the air conditioning again, did a whole round, went into some shops, looked around, tried to do some shopping, came back. Now this is at 6:45.
Yeah.
This is 2 hours, 15 minutes after the doors have opened. Only now is the line like kind of short. So I'm like, okay, now is the time to line up. I go in, get in my seat. Still, the event hasn't started. It has not started, but everyone is seated. The O2 is packed to the brim. To the brim. There isn't a single empty seat.
Think about the farts, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's
that's a weird thing. To
think about the amount.
If
of,
anyone did pass gas.
No, just think about the amount of people passing gas in that area.
Oh, well, a lot of them were kids, so maybe not.
That's there.
And they were also female, and we know females don't fart. So-
yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
we
Yeah.
do,
They don't
yes,
fart. They
yes.
don't fart or poop. They're
Yeah,
clean.
yeah. They don't do any of those things that are pretty
Yeah, they
normal
just-
for humans to do. Of
They don't
course.
excrete
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all. Anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
They don't even sneeze. Fuck.
filled to the brim, and I'll put up a video, and all you can see are green lights. So in K-pop events, if you don't know, there's this culture of having light sticks, and light sticks are basically merch for the idols, and they're just like really bright torches.
Oh man.
Yeah, and they're designed in a certain way. And basically, you hold it to show support for the artist,
Yeah.
and you kind of move it around when they're singing, whatever.
In solidarity.
In
Yeah.
solidarity, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, we
yes.
support you, kind of
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And all I see are green lights, and green lights I found out were NCT light sticks. NCT is a very
Everybody
popular.
was there to see NCT.
Everyone was there to see NCT,
Bro.
and that made sense because they were all very young girls.
Y'all don't know how much I fuck with one NCT song.
One NCT song,
Okay?
regular. That shit
Alright?
bangs,
That
bro.
shit is such a
It's
fire
so good.
song.
There was a time where
Okay.
NCT put out good songs, man. This time was not it. Anyway, I'll
Like,
get into that.
Did they play?
They performed.
They played regular?
No, they did not. It's
I
too
was-
old of a song. Too old of a song.
What?
Too old of a song, and their group has gone through some shifts and changes
Oh, so they
because
don't
one
even
of them
have-
was a offender.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. So yeah, NCT lights all around, and I sit next to these two girls. I think they're like 18, maybe just 18. They look super young. Why are you side-eyeing the camera, bro? Bro, about to ask me what they look
Bro
like.
was next to two 18-year-old women.
They were super polite. Like they kind of just greeted me when I came, and you know
funny.
the reason I felt instantly like an unk, because they looked at me with the eyes of like, "Oh, you're here," kind of thing. You know,
Oh
it's like,
my
"Oh,
god,
like
bro.
your age group is here." But to be fair, I think it was more unusual to just see a guy on his own at like a K-pop concert.
yeah.
I was like, whatever. It's
Yeah.
fine. I sat down, and every 5 seconds, and mind you, the event still hasn't started yet. They're just still playing fucking background music, and they have shit on the big screen. But anyway, thankfully, I didn't have to wait too long. But people were just coming and going, and I could feel the anger of the two girls sitting behind me every time I would have to stand up from my seat to let people in and out.
Oh god.
I felt like this seething anger in the back
Did
of
you
my
look
head.
back to confirm it?
No. No, I glanced, I kind of tilted my head and I could catch one of the girls from the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
And I felt like I shouldn't look. I felt like it might make things worse for me because I'll start feeling worse.
But
if
why?
I see
Because
their
you were too
faces.
tall.
I was too tall. I was trying to really like make sure that I
The
wasn't
event hadn't
blocking their view.
started though. What the fuck are they complaining about?
I don't know. But if it got worse once the event started, for
Yeah.
sure. So then finally the event starts. And when I tell you, I've never heard the screeching noise that loud. It literally
Yeah.
felt like people were dying. That's how the screams were coming out. And it was in unison. They all knew when to start screaming.
Bro, K-pop fans are different. Like my ears rung when like at the Tyler concert when people were cheering for Tyler,
Yeah.
and I thought that was bad.
No. I did think that was bad too. But I was blown out. My expectations now for concerts and the level of hype someone has for an artist are fucking astronomical. Because the level of commitment these people have to show that they really give a shit about the artist is bar none. So they were screeching at the top of their lungs.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the girls next to me did not scream
Yeah.
initially. They were just like, oh, yeah, and then started clapping
yeah.
and shit like that. And I was like, oh, whatever,
Yeah.
it's fine. But I was still like surprised by the
Yeah.
commitment they had. So there's an opening act, two dudes perform, they do their bit, and then the official thing starts. So now groups are coming out. So the first group is like this girl group called Hearts to Hearts. They're like cutesy music ish. So they do their performance, and the format for this is like the group will come, do a performance, and then they'll have like 10-minute segment where they talk to the audience.
Yeah.
And then they'll do their second performance,
Yeah.
and then they'll go. So they do their performance, everyone's cheering, whatever. But I noticed the cheering is a bit less compared to when the men are out. And I'm like, maybe it's a thing of like, because this group is kind of new.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the factor. Whatever. I kind of just noted in my mind. And then they start doing their introductions after their performance. And they're all trying to be like cutesy and like addressy. Some of them like know how to speak English. Or they're like, London, how are you doing? And when I tell you, this shit is so scripted. There was no authenticity whatsoever. And mind you, they're speaking Korean. There was a translator, a British woman translating it. And she fucking was doing such a bad job because her accent was so thick, even I couldn't understand.
Oh my God.
And I was like, there's no fucking way other people are if they're not native English speakers. But anyway, so these girls do their planned introductions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, introduction is fine to plan. But then even the way they address the crowd from that point on, they obviously promote their new album, their new song. They're like, oh, we love London. Thank you for coming and shit like that. And it's like, I'm just not invested. It just feels so inauthentic. And I'm like, but these people are eating it up.
Yeah.
They're like screaming every time.
I guess they don't have to put in effort because it's kids, yo.
Yeah, I mean, there is
It's
that,
kids.
I'm sure. But like, even for themselves, I'm thinking like, as an artist, you're coming out, you're performing in London, which is a big deal for Korean people because it's like, usually you just stay within your country and Asia.
Yeah.
So I'm like, surely you would have like more things you want to say. But then I thought, I don't know, maybe it's like it's a cultural thing. Maybe their company is like, you only can say these things and you can't say anything outside
I know
of
it's
this.
very strict out there.
It is very
with
strict,
these
so-
groups, you know. Like, so it wouldn't be like out there to assume that.
So I'm like, you know what, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
They do their introductions, everyone cheers, no. And there's this one moment where there's this girl who's talking, and I know words in Korean because I listen to the music and I just pick up things because I look at the English version of it just to know what it means. And she says something, and she basically says like, I'm super grateful to be here. Please keep supporting us.
Yeah.
Essentially. But the translator, and this is where I was like, if this is scripted, surely the translator should also know what to say.
Yeah.
But she does this very roundabout way of translating it, which is super confusing because she stumbles her words as well.
Yeah.
And I can tell the fucking koreaboos in the crowd, and that's a lot of them. I think a lot of the fans there actually speak Korean to a decent level. And they just went silent. Like whenever the lady was doing translation in English, they would cheer.
Yeah.
Because they're cheering for the fact that the idol is saying something that addresses them and they're like being supportive. But this time around, they just silent. No cheers. I mean, there were some cheers, but like the overall decibel level was like, it was the equivalent of crickets.
Well, why though?
Because she fucked up the translation.
These men are dickheads.
That's what I'm
These
saying.
men are dickheads.
I'm like, this is the standard. Because I know for sure a lot of them were thinking, that's not what she said.
Because they're kids, man.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
fix your shit. That's not what Chaeyoung said. I don't know. That's,
She'd be like,
that wasn't
so
her name, but, you know.
the translator's like, oh, so basically they're saying they love you guys.
yeah. No, but she didn't make it short. She made it long.
Oh.
She was like, we're super excited to be in London, and London is our favorite place to be. And I'm like, they did not say all of this stuff. You're putting words in their mouth.
the company definitely tell her. Like,
And I'm
yo,
like, either you're
beef it up a
panicking
bit,
or
yeah.
you just forgot what they said, so you're trying to fill in by trying to like just insinuate the sentiment they had.
Yeah.
But I was like, you guys are peak for.
It would be jokes if she at the end of it she's like, or something like that.
She was like, yada yada yada. Yeah, you get the gist.
or if she was like, it would be so funny if she was like one of those. Do you remember there was that? Was it at some like politician press conference thing where there was like a sign language translator, and it turns out she was just not even translating at all.
Oh,
Like she was just making
yeah.
shit up, and you do hand.
I do remember that shit. Yeah.
And
Because
just-
she didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, and she just scammed the
She
government.
lied that she could be.
Yeah, imagine it was one of those things, right?
She's like, yeah, I know Korean. I know Korean.
Yeah. And then she's like,
Secretly,
oh yeah,
she
they
just
they
listens
love
to
you
K-pop.
guys. Yeah,
And she
they
just,
love you guys. Some about
they
really
they said
enjoying
that
being here.
you guys are the sexiest people. Wait,
yeah. And then
she's like, ah, fuck.
she
that
just
kids.
drops like they said JFK was a setup. I don't know, like something like that.
So
for
they
real, like, yeah.
they just confirmed Bush did 9/11.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
Churchill
it's
was
just
an
the
evil
conspiracy theorist. Like,
yeah. They're like, oh, they hate Keir Starmer, and
Yeah,
they're
like,
actually in favor of.
they say that government's hiding aliens. I don't know. They saying some wild shit right now.
I'm just getting confirmation that they're actually AI and not real, and you guys are just gooning to robots. But yeah, so they do their bit, they do their second act, they
Yeah.
fucking leave,
Yeah.
and now, so before every act, they do this little anticipation building music, like
Yeah.
and then they like, because there's a big LED screen, they like at the last moment they'll show the group's name for people to get excited. But before they can even do that, because there's a crowd at the very front looking at the stage,
Yeah.
the doors open and they can see who's coming out. So this is a very small group. Well, small relative to the rest of the stadium. They see the group before anyone else does, and the scream they have is louder than the combined scream of people in the nosebleed
What
section.
is this a male group?
Just the little group at the front, like the standing group near the stage.
Just the standing
Just
group
the standing group.
screamed louder than anybody.
Yo, they like the volume they were screaming at was only noticeably different compared to if everyone was screaming.
You know how kids are though, yeah.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers hear a scream and they'll scream too.
Yes.
They'll scream just to scream. Bro.
Yeah.
And the thing with a kid scream is it's not
It's
like,
like
a
a roll.
woo! It's not like a woo. It's like
It's
like that
yeah,
shit, bro.
Yeah, we gotta
Like
I have to pitch that down. But yeah, it's very pitchy.
yeah.
And that's that's because like their vocal cords.
Yeah,
and
but
shit.
they're not screaming to like out of excitement. They're screaming to scream.
Yes,
You know?
yes, they're screaming to scream.
Because I've literally seen like I've been at concerts where there are younger people there.
Yeah.
And they will literally just scream, they'll just do it because they can scream. They have the vocal
Yeah.
capacity to scream.
Yeah.
And-
And the part where I was
Shit is
like,
jarring,
what the
man.
fuck are you screaming about?
Yeah.
It's because that group started screaming, and the people in the far section of the nosebleeds who can't see shit
Yeah.
started screaming at the top of their lungs. I'm like, what are you? You don't even know who it is yet. Bro, wait. Just wait like 2 seconds and they'll come up. Anyway, another thing I noted was, you know how at concerts you see a bunch of just iPhones. You just see iPhone lights when an artist comes out.
Yeah.
None of that here. I saw some iPhones,
And
but none of that.
NCT glow sticks.
Only light sticks. Only fucking light sticks.
That is crazy.
And I was like, this is how they don't want to look away from the artist for even one moment to have their phone out or whatever. It's like they want to be present. And I was like, I kind of appreciate I fuck with that.
No. You got to think the parasocial relationship they
Sure.
have with the artist
For sure.
is so far
Yes.
gone
They're like, this
That-
icon.
that they're like, but rather than have my phone out, I want to have my glow stick up so they fucking look at me. Just
Yes.
for the chance that they look at me.
But then I'm
and
like,
that is even more fucked up
it
than
is
getting your
fucked,
phone
But
out.
then I'm thinking like, surely you want to relive this memory. So having footage of them would be better. But I think what I really think is they're subscribed to these fan websites that
Yeah.
upload like 4K clips.
For sure, yeah.
So they don't even need that shit. They're just like, oh, I want the chance of making eye contact with him.
Yeah.
One of the Korean groups comes out, they do their bit. Once they finish their introductions and they're about to start their next performance, they say this bit, which is in English, they're saying, "Will you stay with us until the very end?"
Yeah.
And is that not crazy?
That sounds very culty for real.
Very culty. And they know these girls will literally die, lay their hearts out for these
Will you
guys
stay with us until the end?
until the very end.
That is some Pied Piper shit, bro.
Yo,
That is some.
and when they said that, I literally felt chills. Because the girls would scream, like cheering, once they said that statement. And I was like, you have them in a chokehold.
Do you think it's the K-pop idols that know, or is it the fact?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. I think it's the labels.
The labels.
I think it's
know.
really the labels.
The idols are like. Thing is, the idols themselves get taken advantage of.
Yes, they're exploited
within their contracts. If you think the U.S. music industry is bad, if you think just in general the music industry is bad, you haven't seen the K-pop music.
K-pop
industry.
is like
Do you
10
think
times worse.
you
man.
think fucking
It's so exploitative.
you think labels aren't paying your favorite artist, bro?
They're actually not paying the K-pop
The
idols.
entire life of K-pop idols are controlled. You know to
why
a
they don't get
fucking
paid?
T.
You know why they don't get paid? Because literally to train and debut as a group puts them in debt, like crippling debt.
Yeah.
So they're literally performing to pay off that debt.
No, it's the same as for like regular labels. It's crazy. It's like I'm assuming it's like double or triple for these K-pop idols, but like it's really bad for artists nowadays, for real.
I think they can leverage less. So in the West, I think people can have their own presence outside of the label.
Yeah.
And that can start getting them their own sort of income stream to pay off whatever debt they're owed.
Mm-hmm.
But for idols, literally everything is controlled by the company. Up to the minuscule detail like personality.
Yeah, crazy.
The personality, bro, that you can show to your fans is controlled by the label. When you debut, you have a role that you have to play, and you have to stick to that role the whole fucking time. That is bizarre to me.
It's scary. It's not bizarre. It's fucking terrifying, yo. Like,
and you only really break out of it once you like solidify yourself as like a stable.
and then you usually at that point the group will go and do their own things. You know.
Yes, there's that,
Like
but also
like Jenny.
Yeah, they just kind of dissolve the group and start doing their solo careers, or they stick with the group. But the thing is, they only reach that level of like fame and stability, when they're like in their late 20s, which is when K-pop fans start considering them old. And this is more true for female idols than males.
That single-handedly has made me hate the entire K-pop fans. Fuck all of you, bro.
Well, maybe not everyone's like that.
I mean, I know. Obviously, it's a hyperbole. I'm not fucking around, but like,
it's insane.
What the fuck?
And
I take that personally.
Again, there's a double standard because with men, it's like, they just get finer with age. But with women, it's like,
okay.
they're just old hags now. We don't fucking care about them. On to the next
What you
underage
reckon
group.
is? It's like fucking jealousy or what? I reckon there probably is a lot.
I think
of
there's a
jealousy
bit of
there.
jealousy for sure. I think there's jealousy embedded in it.
But like it all comes down to a parasocial relationship where these fans are almost like the guys thirsting over Sydney Sweeney. They think they have a chance.
Yes. So
crazy.
there's the male fans and then the female fans. The male fans are just straight thirsting.
They're weird.
Straight
as fuck.
obsessed, gooning over posters, shit like that. The female fans have a bit of like a weird dichotomy where they genuinely like the girls and they're like, oh my God, they're so pretty, they're so hot, I kind of want to be like them. But they also have this animosity towards them where it's like, oh, you have too much male attention. That's kind of where this is my speculation on the matter.
Okay,
I have no
okay.
proof to back this up apart from a bunch of tweets that I see on Twitter.
Right.
You know?
Oh, but you did say they're made by grown ass people.
They are made by grown-ass
So-
people, which is even more weird and alarming.
Maybe it's just kids being kids and not understanding the extent of their parasocial
That is true.
relationship, you know?
It could be that.
For the adults there,
Yeah.
I think I know some K-pop fans and they're chill.
Yeah.
But
But I see the thing is like
I don't know if you're
when I
running
say
a Twitter
K-pop fans,
page-
it's like the hardcore ones,
yeah.
and a lot of the fandom is hardcore, which is why I can use that term as in a broader sense instead of like because when people say like, "Oh, I'm a fan of Tyler," you wouldn't think like you're crazy obsessed with Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say I'm a fan of Frank Ocean, then you can generalize and be like, "Yeah, you're probably obsessed, a bit, just a bit."
I guess so. Yeah.
Because he has like
If you're
cult
like a
following at this point.
yeah, for sure, yeah.
But with K-pop, it's not a cult following because literally the masses fucking go insane. And the extent of the parasocialness I found was when NCT finally came out. One, the cheers were the loudest, and my eardrums actually hurt.
Oh shit.
That's how loud it was.
Should have asked me for my loop earbuds, bro.
I didn't know it was gonna be this bad.
Jesus.
I went in thinking they're just gonna be normal,
Yeah.
and maybe a bit screamy. But like when NCT came out,
Get the
it
bag
was
on a regular.
something else, bro. Yeah, they get pussy.
They get the bag on a regular.
But there's this one guy, I forgot his name, but he knew how to get the crowd riled up because he comes on stage and he was like, his other members introduce themselves. He goes, "What's my name?" And these girls scream his name, the top of their lungs. I can hear.
Fucking aura.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Aura,
The
this man exudes.
I was like, if I had a pussy, it'd be dripping right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What's my
Holy
name? And then
shit.
everyone just screams
Screams it.
the name.
at the top of their lungs. And when I tell you, the row behind me, the girls, I could hear it from their chest. I could hear
You should be like, you should have been like that. You should have just
I
laughed.
could have laughed at the top of my lungs and it would be drowned out.
My
I couldn't
God.
even hear myself thinking. And he did not say it once. He said it 3 times.
Say, what's my name? What's my name? What's my name?
The 3rd time he was like, "I can't hear you." And this was the peak. I
Whoa,
think
who is this guy? The Rock? What are you talking
whatever
about?
he was, he had aura. Because I'm pretty sure people 10 miles away from the stadium could have heard the stadium with how they were screaming. And I was like, all right, I respect that shit. Even
they know
though
how to
what the
command a
song
crowd,
you just
yeah.
performed was straight dookie, respect. And that was one thing I did not understand is how are these men putting out the most idiotic sounding songs? And no offense to people that actually like the music. You can like what you gotta like. But personally, it was really, really fucking bad. Like mind-numbingly bad.
Yeah.
And these girls were screaming for it. And I'm thinking, is it just them being so obsessed with the guys themselves that they don't even give a fuck about the music? Or is it that they like them so much that they can somehow gaslight themselves into liking the song?
I think they might just like the music. Cause I think it's I don't know. Personally,
okay.
for me, K-pop is a very acquired taste. Like you either you kind of I don't know what an acquired taste is.
I think
I
acquired
always
taste
think acquired taste is like
acquired
you
taste
get
is
it
like-
over time, you know?
yes, but I think it insinuates the masses don't really like it.
Oh.
It's like you wouldn't understand it unless you've developed your taste buds.
Maybe it is then. It's just the attraction because I guess some songs I can't get behind, you know? So
Yeah, some songs are like really bad. And this was one of I can't really play them because I know we'll get copyrighted and probably get death threats. So I'm gonna just keep it low key.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say which song, I wouldn't say which NCT subunit because there are subunits.
Wait.
Yes.
What do you mean subunit?
So-
these men an army.
Yeah,
These men are an army
they're
of
an
men.
actual army. Because I don't know if NCT started off as like one big group. I
Yeah.
think that's how it was. It was just NCT, and then they branched off. So it became NCT Dream, which is like a group of, like the genre of music they make changes based on the unit. So NCT Dream makes like cutesy, lover boy, summer vibe kind of music. NCT 127, that's who made regular.
That's the guy who's made regular. Yeah.
They're the ones that do like the cool pop and shit, hot hip hop, haha. Yeah, we cool.
So who are
thuggin'.
these man who came out? Who are these guys?
No, all the groups came out and did their little bit. So NCT Dream came out, they did their performance. NCT 127 came out, they did their performance. And 127 is the main group that people fuck with. They're the ones with the hot guys. And also they're the ones with the sex offender.
Okay.
Who has been
Well,
removed, but
okay, that's
like
good,
the
that's
fact that he
good.
was there is crazy.
Yeah.
And the last thing, and this is promised the last thing I talk about this concert, I leave a bit early because I'm like, I've seen the people I want to see. I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about the rest of it. And I don't want to get caught up in the tubes with these guys. Because if the stadium is packed to the brim, I'm not making it
Yeah.
home until like 5 a.m. So I'm like, whatever. I leave early. I'm just la 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 la. La. I get to the security gates and I see some commotion. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck's happening? And it's this Chinese girl.
Yeah.
I don't know her age. She seems anywhere between 19 and 26.
Yeah.
And she is fighting with the security stuff. And I'm like, what is happening? And she's like pushing them. And I guess there's this tall, kind of brawny female security guard. And she kind of had enough because I feel like this has been going on for a while. And she just fucking grabs the girl and pushes her out of the venue. And now the commotion's being moved away. Now two guards have literally locked her and are dragging her out. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And she's like screaming. She's like, no, 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 in like a Chinese accent. I won't do the accent.
Oh
but
my god.
she's getting escorted out. And I walk past and there's one guy standing at the door. And he's like, oh, once you leave, you can't come back in. And I was like, okay, that's what's happened here. She left for whatever reason, and she wants to go back in. They're not letting her come back in.
And she's
She's like, no, I can't. I want to go back in. I have to go back in.
okay, don't. You're doing the accent, bro.
Sorry,
Stop doing
it's
the accent.
natural.
Don't do the accent.
I'm actively recalling, and it's channeling through. But anyway, she's like, I have to go in, and she's like screaming at the top of her lungs, and they're just escorting her out,
It genuinely is like.
And she's
I
losing
hate to
her
say
mind.
I hate to say it every time, but it's like a fucking Black Mirror episode, bro.
It is, but the thing is, this kind of shit has existed for a while.
It
like
has
Michael Jackson,
yeah, but I guess seeing it in this day and age,
Yeah,
you know,
seeing it in
seeing it with
person
your
is-
own eyes. I
is
never
surreal.
saw the Michael Jackson commotion. I
Yeah,
was a kid.
that's
I'd only
true.
seen videos.
Yeah.
But seeing it like in person for a
the level
K-pop
of
concert, like
obsession.
they're fucking screaming and crying, it's wild.
Yeah, and then they drag her out, and then she's like, please, can I come in? Please, I have my ticket with me. Please let me in. And these guys just have had enough of her. They just shun her. They don't listen to her. They're just walking away from her. And for whatever reason, she doesn't come back into the venue.
Yeah.
She could have just as easily tried to make her way through again.
Yeah.
But she kind of just gave up and then like frustratedly walked away. And everyone is just like in awe, apart from this one group of girls that are here to like party or whatever. They're like, they were standing as a unit and one of them's taking a selfie and this lady's getting dragged. They did not bat an eye. They were so locked into taking, that's what made me feel Black Mirror-esque. Because I was like, they didn't even turn around to look at this girl screaming and crying, getting escorted out. They were like, nah, the fit's too good.
They try to get her in the shot.
They're like, yo, get her shit in too. I was like, yo, that's wild,
funny
bro.
as fuck, yo. Oh my god.
Just seeing that, I was like, what a day. What a day to have eyes.
For real, man.
What a day to have eyes.
That sounds like an adventure, bro.
It
for
was a
real.
low-key an adventure.
I think the closest thing that happened to me related to that, like to your concert, and the concert I went to, was that there was a guy behind me. So I was at the front. There was a guy behind me. He tapped my shoulder. It was the last song. It was encore. I didn't know what the song was.
This is the Q concert?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know what the song was.
Yeah.
So, and he tapped my shoulder and he said, yo, can I get in front of you to take a picture? And I was like, yeah, sure. Cause I was going to leave anyway after. out of the goodness of my heart, I give him my place at the very front, right?
Yeah.
And this brother abuses the fuck out of it.
Wait, it was almost done though, right?
Yeah, no. Let me tell you what happened. The guy, the artist, the stage and the floor were so like there was barely any space. You know, like you could just walk up on the stage.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
a
like
small
it was a very
venue.
small venue.
Yeah.
He was very close to us, right? It was an incredibly intimate performance.
Yeah.
Bro, he's like, oh, let me take a selfie with all of you guys, like with the whole crowd that was there. So he took his phone out and he was about to take a selfie. And this dude just gets on the stage. This dude who's basically silent for the entire concert is only trying to take pictures and videos. I thought maybe he's like a photography major type of guy, you know, who just really likes photography and taking pictures of concerts, maybe trying to break into the industry or something like that. But no, he just gets straight up on the stage, and he looks, he strokes his shoulder at his friend, walks up to the guy, puts his arm around him and says, selfie? I gave this motherfucker my space and he did that with it.
Dude. Like, he could have been someone that was there to threaten his life.
No, dude, like I don't know, maybe his management or one of the people someone on his team was looking at the dude and they were like he's got to get the fuck off the stage. Like she seemed so pissed, man. She was on her business. Honestly, she was so professional and she seemed pissed at the guy. Yeah. She immediately just ushered him off the stage. He's like, get off stage and the artist.
Did they like escort him out or?
No, he just got back into his place on the stage. And like the artist played it off very well. Like he was like, I could tell he was a little bit bothered by it, but I don't know. Yeah. So he was like, hey, what do you say, guys? Should I take a selfie with him? You know, he's trying to like get the audience involved and stuff. But then they ushered the guy on stage. He didn't get the selfie.
Jesus.
Good. Because what the fuck are you doing getting up on stage? Like, and you know, everyone was like cheering and saying yes to selfie. As soon as you go up on stage, people just stopped. They were just like, what is this, dude?
Oh my God. I hate people like this that just ruin shit, man. Like,
but
you're so selfish.
My thing is this
but also, why the fuck are you there?
The most unassuming guy, bro. A guy who I just thought was there. He just was so passionate about photography. He was annoyed he couldn't get pictures. That was it. I thought that's what he's there for. Turns out
he's just obsessed.
Must be, maybe, I don't know. Like,
he's just crazy and obsessed.
But yeah, I don't know what happened, but that was the craziest thing that happened at the concert I went to. So really pales in comparison.
Yeah.
But you know.
But shit happens, you know, and it's fun to see.
I thought you've heard him talk all episode. Maybe hear a story from me.
You gotta get a little snippet into his life.
Yeah.
What was he up to this weekend?
What was I up to?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. It wasn't even this weekend, for real. If you enjoyed the episode, like.
Suck
what?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm just stopping the sentence there.
All right. Like, comment, subscribe, notification bell. That's all we want from you. 4 things. Okay? That's gonna push our channel out to the masses. That's gonna get our name out there, and that means we can do more of this for you. You know? If you do enjoy it.
Yes.
So, and right now it's critical. Maybe if we had 1 million subscribers, it wouldn't matter. Right now, though.
Yeah, we wouldn't be asking for all of this.
Right now. Right fucking now. Even 1 share is gonna help
this
us.
moment.
1 like will help us.
1 like will save 1 K-pop fan from themselves. So
your like will have such a huge impact. Do you know how giddy we get when we see likes on our shit, bro?
Yeah. So for 2 people's happiness, drop a like.
Yeah. 2 people you'd be making happy.
What does it really, you know, it doesn't take much for you to drop a like, so.
Nah, you sounding like that girl from streaming.
No, for real though, it doesn't take much.
It doesn't.
If you did enjoy it.
Yeah, if you did enjoy it, yeah.
If you didn't, then, you know, you don't have to, but.
Yeah, follow us at the MYT Pod on Twitter, X. So, fuck that.
Oh, negative aura. All right, follow us at the MYT Pod on Instagram, X, TikTok, and that's pretty much it. I thought we had another.
That's pretty much it.
I'm pretty sure I'm channeling my Dexter. You know where to find us.
That's pretty much it, guys.
You know where to find us. You know you love us.
You know what I think?
Yeah.
You're about to say something else, and you didn't want to fuck it up. So you're like, that's pretty much it.
No, but I blanked out. I was like, we don't have any.
Yeah, we
other
don't
platforms.
actually have anything else. No.
So yeah, follow us there.
Yeah.
Keep us in your mind and hearts.
For real, man.
We post every Sunday,
Yeah.
so
We'll be
yeah,
back.
look forward.
We'll be back same
And
time next week.
Thanks for
you
watching.
know? Thanks for watching. Look out for more Japan vlogs. They're coming soon. You know,
Yes.
we have quite a bit of content. So yeah, man. Hope you enjoy your week and you've had a nice Sunday. See y'all later.